Hello everyone and welcome to the video. I'm Professor Amanda and class has officially begun. So I'm here with our Dean, Count Zevius, and we are going to present to you guys one of the last Marsh things we're doing for the month. But what a great thing to end on. We're doing a 6-0 tournament sweep that was submitted to us by DockuSama. And so we thought it was really interesting because not only did he completely wipe the floor with the rest of the opponents here, he did it with a 3-grass team. So Avi, what are your thoughts on this team composition?
Well, my first thought, it's a very risky team, and the player who pulled this off really needed to have very high skill. Because considering that the meta has Alolan Muck in it, it's very risky to run 3 grasses. So
yeah, this is like a super high risk, high reward. Although
yeah,
Shiftry
exactly.
is a beast. We've noticed this in a lot of tournaments lately, that people are very threatened by this.
Yeah, Shiftry usually is in a meta. At the start, people will be like, "Oh yeah, great, it's bad on the Sims." But as the meta progresses, you'll see Shiftry in every team at the end of the month. That's what Shiftry does.
Yeah, I think that the team comp is really interesting because he even presented it that 3 grass at the beginning. So he's like letting people know, he's not trying to hide it like, oh, you know, Shiftry and then like a couple more down. But then he also has hard counters to the grass counters. So Crustle, which takes care of Marowak, and also Swampert, which both of them are very hard counters. And then Marowak obviously counters itself fairly well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be interesting. I'm excited to see how he pulls this off.
So looking at DockuSama's team against the Hicknodens, what are your initial thoughts? You have a Kingdra that's been giving you some troubles lately?
Yeah. Well, my initial thoughts is I would seriously look at playing around Swampert and having it backed by Whimsicott and one more grass or maybe Crustle to deal with his Hicknodens team.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah, Marowak is only a hard counter to Whimsicott. I guess Ferrothorn does well against it, especially if it's carrying Flash Cannon, but for the most part, it's a fairly even matchup. So I guess
exactly.
Let's see what they're going to do for round number 1.
Hey everyone, quick break before we get into the battles, just to say, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, if you could click the button below and do so, we would really appreciate it. Alright, that's it for now.
Alright, Crustle into Whimsicott.
Yeah, so Crustle will lose this, and usually unless there's a no shield situation, but I can't see that to start out with.
It is interesting. He's running a double rock move on the Crustle.
Oh, and it's also interesting that they chose to throw at that point. I mean, there was little HP left.
Oh, he's running double grass, which is interesting now that I think Cradily now has a lot of energy, and whatever comes in after is going to be in a lot of pain. So he brings in his Kingdra, and from this I would understand that he has something that's weak to Cradily at the back.
Yeah, or at least weak to grass, which is a shame. I think the person's in for a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point, I would let this go and come in with Shiftry to farm down, and that's extremely dangerous for anybody in this meta. Yeah.
Oh man, Shiftry half health, but as we know, energy is
God.
Insane.
Yeah. He has a Wish Catch at the back. You could kind of call it because bringing in Kingdra into Cradily is not exactly the best of matchups. Yeah. So this is GG.
Bye bye Wizcash.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how
Daddy Cash has gone home.
I wonder how he will adapt for game 2. So obviously he knows that DockuSama likes to play a double grass strategy, so we'll see how they shift their lineups.
Ferrothorn. This is a good matchup for Ferrothorn, actually.
And an immediate safe swap to a Shiftry. Not that safe, I guess, yeah, if someone has a Whimsicott on their team.
Yeah. Leaf Blade's not going to do much. But what could be good is based on what Pokemon he has at the back. And if it's a Pokemon that has the capacity to farm down the... yeah, okay. That's interesting. He brings in his Cradily, I guess.
Yeah,
that
knowing that the
he has
Marowak
the
is
Alolan
such
Marowak.
such a positive matchup against the Ferrothorn.
Exactly. So now I guess he either lets the Cradily go and brings in his Marowak, or he lets it go, I guess.
Just a power whip.
Doesn't KO, but he's gonna get to power up faster than because he overfarmed earlier.
Now he let the. Ooh, that's a good call by the opponent.
Okay, this is gonna be pretty close. I guess now I think you will have to land 2 Shadow Bones. I think. Unfortunately, I do not know what the move is called in Italian. I guess. But yeah.
Obvious have to shield the Octazooka here.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going for a Bone Club bait. Let's see if.
Oh man, he got the attack debuff.
Yeah. Ooh. And the opponent didn't fall for the bait, or maybe they just knew that even with the debuff, Shadow Bone wouldn't do as much damage. Yeah, I don't see any coming back at this point.
Yeah, and to be honest, Octazooka does quite a bit of damage to the Cradily too. Kingdra is. I know it's not the best move, Octazooka, but Kingdra does a lot of damage.
Oof. Yeah. So that one was a pretty decisive win for Hickenoden.
Let's see how both of them adapt. Hickenoden has really adapted to DockuSama running the double grass.
And surprisingly, he's still doing it, so yeah. So switching out to a Whimsicott, a hard counter right here.
Oh man, that was not the best play. I think in retrospect, what Hickenoden could have done was stayed in and done as much damage as possible. But
yeah,
now
at least took some shields away because Shiftry needs shields.
Yeah. Now it's an even more difficult matchup, I guess. Mostly because Alolan Marowak does a lot of damage. Of course, the Kingdra doesn't have to shield the Shadow Bone, but yeah, it's still going to do a lot of damage. And I don't think the Kingdra can farm down. So he decides to throw, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's a loaded Shiftry, but brings in the Whimsicott just to show the opponent that, okay, your Kingdra has no play.
Yeah.
And Shiftry should be able to clean up with the Ferrothorn pretty easily in the 2-shield scenario.
Yep. And Ferrothorn knows it, but still has to shield because, like you said, the Kingdra has no play. It's hoping to at least get in and do some damage.
Yep.
Let's see what they decide to do. Yeah, I think that's a smarter call.
Yeah, because I don't know, Whimsicott does not need shields against the Kingdra.
No. And the Whimsicott doesn't have the best lineup against the Ferrothorn. I mean, even though it's not super effective, the power whips start to hurt, and it takes so long for the Whimsicott to get to a charge.
Yeah. Well, especially if somebody decides to run Flash Cannon, which is, I think, which is more and more interesting now. That you see a lot more Venusaurs in the meta, but I guess it's too late to make the change.
No, I mean, if I had to do the cups over, I would definitely have put Flash Cannon on it instead to challenge the other Ferrothorns. And also, I'm not seeing as many flyers as was anticipated at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the month, Ferrothorn ran Thunder for Alolan Marowak so that you could do something against it. Flash Cannon does nothing. Power Whip.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, round 2 versus Janny 43-21.
Yes, looks like we got a Shadow Swampert. That's fun.
Shadow Swampert is scary.
Yeah, it's so
especially
spammy and it hits even harder. Yeah.
Another double grass team, pretty interesting. Double grass team with Galvantula. Basically enough firepower to protect the Galvantula from the Mud Boys.
Yeah, the problem I see with Janny's team is that 4 of the Mons are fairly weak to Whimsicott. So I would imagine that DockuSama is going to run that for sure. And let's see if he tries to do the double grass strategy again.
Ooh, nice lead. Nice catch.
Good call. Yeah.
He kind of predicted this because Venusaur has 5 good matchups against his team. That's a very good team reading from DockuSama's part. And he's now lined perfectly his Shiftry against the Sableye.
Does Venusaur have a good matchup against Shiftry?
Yes, it wins in the 1 shields and only loses the Shadow's Shiftry in the 2 shields.
Okay.
If it's a normal one, I think you can pull off that match in the 2 shields. But if it's a Shadow, you don't, because the Leaf Blade hurts a lot more than you think.
Yeah. So he's not messing around, even though the Sable has very little energy. He is taking it out with the Leaf Blade. In comes that Venusaur again, but now the Shiftry has at least 2 or 3 Snarls advantage, so...
Yeah. Once you give Shiftry some energy, this matchup is no longer straightforward. It's just scary what a Shiftry can do with just a few Snarls.
That Marowak comes back in and ooh.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
double grass
Swampert.
and Swampert.
Although we're about to see maybe what the secondary move is on the Swampert. No, they don't want to reveal yet. They're just going double Hydro Cannon.
But double Hydro Cannon does hurt Cradily because of the part Rock type. I think in the 1 shields it would be pretty close. But yeah. It was smart of DockuSama to not let him farm any energy.
Yeah, make him waste it all here.
Yeah, exactly. And now the Alolan Marowak should definitely get to the move before the Swampert, unless Jenny hit.
A mud or a bone club, is that gonna be it is enough, okay.
Yeah, it is a Shadow Swampert, so.
That's true, yeah. So powerful, but so frail.
Exactly. This match would have been a lot more closer if DockuSama swapped 1 second after.
Yeah. That was a good call on his part to lead the Marowak, but I wonder how Jenny will adapt for game 2.
Yeah.
How do you like to play it? And not to reveal too much, I suppose, but if your team is, you have something that's so strong against 5 of the 6, are you leading it, or are you thinking that they realize it and that they are countering you?
I will definitely lead it. I don't really mind because the probability is on my side.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Guy. So I'm gonna lead it, and I'm definitely gonna bring like 2 really hard counters. So possibly 1. I would bring in Galvantula as a safe swap, because with 1, let's say one of the biggest fears I see here is let's say the Swampert. But if you have 1 Volt Switch advantage in the 2 shields, you can pull that off. And Alolan Marowak, you can also whittle it down with Galvantula. Yes, it's a bad matchup, but you're still going to whittle it down.
Yeah, and once Marowak's out of the way, then I think Jenny's team really would shine. So
exactly. So that's how I would play it. But yeah.
So yeah, game 1 is always like interesting to see how the players originally choose to do things, but game 2 is, to me, the most interesting because it shows how people adapt to the other one's play style, and you kind of get into each other's heads.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, so it looks like Jenny again realized, she's like, I'm sticking with what I know.
Exactly.
Venusaur is good. Kept the lead.
Ooh, she didn't bring a counter for Shiftry.
That is super risky.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would play. Like as I told you, I would bring Galvantula, and in this situation, Galvantula would be so good right now.
Yeah, especially with all those grass. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also understand the fact that she wanted a safe swap. So
yeah, Sableye has a really good safe swap in this meta because, yeah, again, if that one has a Shadow Claw or 2 advantage, it can really force you to think about, well, oh, is it a return? Is it a foul play? I have to say, I really like how DockuSama does the foul plays. It's not like a tight circle; it's like a square within the circle.
I used to do that, but then I started missing bubbles.
Ooh, good swap here. So right up the Shadow Bone.
Nice.
So.
Ooh, another nice swap. But, oh man, that's unfortunate. He gets the debuff. Now the Alolan Marowak can farm it down. Oh man.
Oh my goodness, this was a close match. I think this will be enough to take it out. Nope.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh, so close.
Yeah, but he still has a Pokemon at the back.
Yeah, we have a full health Whimsicott, but
yeah. This match would have gone quite a bit better. Of course, another tip for Jenny is that at this point, I would have, when you saw the The Shiftry, just swap into your Alolan Marowak, play the 2 shields because you don't need shields against a Whimsicott because you get to Sludge Bomb faster, and whatever they have in their team cannot deal with your Venusaur. So just get the Shiftry out of the way and you win.
All right, well, DockuSama won the first 2, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next opponent for time's sake. So now we're on to round 3 here against Chebaho 5. This team looks really similar to the past one with the double grass with Venusaur, but instead we have a Whiscash instead of a Swampert and a Crustle. Crustle is also it's a really good pick for this cup, I think.
Yeah, Crustle is a special mon, but it's not something I have on my team, mostly because I prefer Crustle with Fury Cutter because I really like the shield pressure it can put up. So yeah.
That was actually their recommended moveset on PV Poke, but I think everyone who's running it is actually running the rock moves.
Oh, really? I thought... Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay. But anyways, I think Crustle has really good play against DockuSama's team too. I think it can still do okay against the Cradily. And of course, there's a Crustle mirror. That's okay. It's going to be IV dependent, but still... once you have an advantage, 1 or 2 SmackDown advantage, swapping in the Crustle is not going to be the greatest thing. But let's see what he does.
Yeah. I like the Swampert for DockuSama's team too. It does well against all of them except for, obviously, the grass.
Yeah.
Ooh, didn't call this lead quite correct. This is a bad matchup for DockuSama. An immediate switch out to... running the Shiftry as well, but the safe swap on this matchup is the Cradily.
Yeah.
So he's not playing around, going straight Stone Edge here. And shielding up the possible Sludge Bomb, but it is just a Frenzy Plant.
Yeah, I think going straight Frenzy Plant is also okay because it's going to do neutral either ways, and Cradily is not the tankiest of mons. You don't want to spend that 1 Vine Whip extra worth of energy and 1-2 turns miss.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. So, double shielded Cradily here.
Oh man, that is interesting.
Baiting here with the Leaf Blade. Ooh!
Oh,
didn't fall for the bait and had enough energy to... man, Venusaur is a beast.
TJE Ho has Jedi brains.
However, it is unfortunate because a Shiftry, like we said, with the Snarl 2 advantage is...
Yeah, that one shield is gonna go like in an instant.
Yeah. So that was also interesting, recognizing that the Shiftry is probably going to win the matchup and it doesn't do well in the 0 shield against the Crustle. They switched Marowak into the Crustle.
Yeah, that is a very good, very well calculated swap because now I guess... Oh wow.
But at this point, yeah, Cheba answers with a Shiftry of their own. They still have a shield left. Doesn't look too good for DockuSama, I don't think.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult to pull this one off.
Unless the Crustle doesn't have a move. Oh, but it does.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, it didn't throw anything.
Of course it does.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You get to the moves pretty fast in the Crustle.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going into game 2. Let's see how DockuSama adapts to TJBBE's strategy. So, an Alolan Marowak mirror. And as you know, shinies do more damage, so the shiny's going to win.
Like DockuSama is in trouble.
Yeah. This is interesting. TJEBBE decides to stay. And, fishing for, I guess, a debuff. But giving this much energy to Shiftry is going to be really scary for them.
Yeah, I think in that case you either have to stay in and really commit for a 2 shield and take out the Shiftry, or you have to switch immediately.
Yeah, but it would have made more sense to switch immediately as Venusaur has no play against Alolan Marowak. So staying in might have cost him or her the game, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And he's able to snarl down.
But still 2 shields, that's something that's good for TJEBBE.
And takes the first Leaf Blade. I assume we'll probably block this one or else the Crustle is literally doing no damage.
Yeah.
In comes the Cradily. Ooh,
Oh man,
man, that was good. Recognizing, I think Chebe was trying to do a sack swap, but it didn't work.
yeah, I don't think it was a sack swap. I think he just wanted to farm, do some damage with the Alolan Marowak, and then
And instead just got damaged.
yeah, I guess a shield there would have been really good, but yeah. But now I guess the best case scenario is farm down, but I think yeah, the Alolan Marowak has energy.
This is fun. Okay,
Yeah,
so it looks like it's going to be a rock.
but I guess Shiftry is one snarl, and then yeah, a pretty close game.
Yeah. I think that was closer than it needed to be. The entire back line was then weak to Crustle, so.
Yeah, could have been really good if yeah. I guess in the thick of the movement, it's easier to it's difficult to make a decision, but in hindsight, you can always come up with stuff. So.
But I mean, to be fair to DockuSama, I think that's part of the strategy, because if you have double something in the back, or there, that there is one Pokemon that you're trying to draw out, or one that you know that the rest of your lineup is weak to, you do your best to strategize ahead of time how you're going to play that matchup. So when he saw that there was a Marowak at the beginning, he knew, okay, I have to do A to make B happen.
Yeah. Explains why he swapped out. I guess he also tried to catch the Bone Club, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an amazing lead. He calls a Shiftry lead.
Ooh, that just hurts so much as the Shiftry.
Yeah.
So the immediate safe swap into Crustle, but yeah, DockuSama's not falling for switching out. He says, you know what, I can take this one too.
Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty interesting that he put the Shiftry in the red, and now he's gonna shield and then probably farm down the Crustle. It is quite brave, but considering
now
that
0 shields to 2 shields in the game-deciding match, you have even if you are feeling confident, you have to have some nerves about you right now.
Yeah. I guess he's just gonna go straight to Leaf Blade, and yeah, okay, the opponent doesn't shield. Oh, that's a nice.
Oh, and does a nice sack swap to the Venu. Man, these swaps are on point.
Yeah, but I don't know. See, because now I guess he sack swapped the Alolan Marowak now has the possibility of coming in and farming down, even though he has a shield advantage. It's never good for the Venusaur. Plus, he just lost his Whimsicott counter to a farm down.
Yeah. It's not looking good for Chebeho at this point.
Yes.
Even with the shield advantage, it's
there's not much that can be done because the Whimsicott can easily tank 2 Leaf Blades, I think, at the HP it's at. Plus, I think
especially
he also
with this damage that will also be done with the Shadow Bone here.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Artkey comes in with Shiftry to take in the energy, so
yep, just to absorb the damage.
Yeah, clean up with Whimsicott.
Well played.
Yep, very well played.
All right, so it took games 2 and 3 there. Good comeback, recognizing the opponent's playstyle. Now we're on to Sergeant Raclette.
Sergeant Raclette.
This team also has a Whimsicott, which if you are playing a Shiftry often, that one might get benched for this matchup.
Yeah, it's a very interesting team, actually. Has pretty good counters against Shiftry. His Sergeant has adapted based on how the Mets has evolved. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so too. Because even Toxicroak, though it doesn't, I mean, Whimsicott does well against Toxicroak. If a Toxicroak can land a Sludge Bomb, it's obviously going to be taken out. The Crustle, I mean, there's going to be a lot of close matchups in this. I would be very surprised if you left the Toxicroak on the bench.
Yeah, definitely leave Toxicroak. Yeah, fair enough. So this isn't as bad as a matchup as you might think, because Mud Bombs do hurt and Bone Clubs hurt less.
Yeah, that is true. Although, if you want your Toxicroak matched up against anything, this one isn't it.
Exactly.
And I guess Shadow Bone too. I mean, like, it's more baity than a Shadow Ball. So obviously in the past, with the Marowak, you could tell if someone was going to go for a Shadow Ball or a Bone Club bait. But with the Shadow Bone, it's a little bit closer.
Yeah. I think the first Shadow Bone comes exactly at the same time as Shadow Ball, but the second one comes one Fire Spin earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
But he's going, not messing around, going straight Bone Clubs here.
Okay, farm down with Alolan Marowak. That's very good actually. Because with a little bit of energy advantage, Alolan Marowak can do quite some damage against DockuSama's team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, switch out to Swampert. Oh, he's running the Spice.
Ooh, and it is a Sludge Wave Swampert too. Okay, yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, if this lands, oh my god. He has no shield. That explains.
Yeah, definitely. The first time you're playing, you have to at least respect what the Swampert might be carrying.
Yeah.
That was a very decisive win.
Yeah. Now that he knows probably Swampert is carrying Sludge Wave, I think you could definitely find a place for Cradily against them, against DockuSama. But let's see how he plays that out.
Man, this team is like, now that I look at it and knowing that the Swampert is carrying Sludge Wave, besides Marowak, there's not really a hard counter to Ferrothorn on the team. There's other ones that can obviously do good damage against it, but it's still...
Alolan Marowak does pretty well. Huh?
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously not that Swampert was a good counter to Ferrothorn, but at least it can threaten it a bit more.
Yeah, it can hit the Earthquake for quite a bit of damage. So will he respect the Swampert and shield?
Oh, that was a very last second shield.
I think it's one of those shields that you clicked at the very last second and you're not sure that if it went through
if it goes through or not. Well, he's very lucky it did because, like I said, you got to respect it the very first time.
Oh, this is Hurricane. Will Surgeon respect? Oh, no.
No, half health, dang.
Okay, 2 shielded Cradily is actually going to be pretty good. Yes, Shadow Bone's hurt. Oh man, he gets.
And he got the defense. Yeah.
Unfortunate. Very good counting from Sergeant. He counts just before the Alolan Marowak gets the second Shadow Bone and throws. But this is still going to be pretty close, I think.
The Whimsicott get taken out, knowing that the Swampert can pull some energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the Marowak. Ooh, he even calls the Bone Club bait there.
Yeah, that was a win con. Technically, if he would have won even if it was a Shadow Bone.
Yeah, and it looks like the Sergeant knew it as well. They didn't even bother blocking the Hydro Cannon. So, good games with DockuSama there. Very well played, recognizing the Swampert had a lot of play against this team. I think both the first match and the second match ended with the Swampert taking out the Marowak. Now we're on to the fifth opponent, Aerosol 2505.
That's spicy. Livani is, I think.
Yeah, my goodness, I don't even know what that second one is.
I think it can have access to Fury Cutter and also Razor Leaf. It's a pretty strong Pokemon actually. It's very high attack, but let's see how he plays.
Yeah, let's see if it has any play against the other grasses.
Depends if it has
grass party lineup.
Oh, Alolan Marowak into a Crustle. That is a brave lead, though, when you have a Poliwrath on the team.
Yeah, very brave indeed. Also running a double rock move.
Mm-hmm.
So, but surprisingly, Aerosol blocked it. That was way too quick to be the rock slide, so.
Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be close. Oh man, he throws. Okay, so no energy, but I guess this is DockuSama's strategy. I guess he comes in with a Shiftry and farms down. Yeah.
Well, now we got a fully loaded Shiftry, and what is in the back? There we go, Galvantula. Ooh, now this is also dangerous to the rest of DockuSama.
Yeah, but he has a shield advantage, and oh man. Ideally, what could be done now is one shield and farm down. But...
Ideally, Cradily?
Yeah, with 2 shields advantage, there was not much he could do actually.
Yeah. So at this point, yeah, going for the Stone Edge.
Yeah, I think it does like 80% of Lapras's HP.
And then he'll probably just farm it down with
Yeah.
the shield and have energy to throw into the Galvantula. Oh,
Yep.
doesn't even have a chance to throw again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because the Galvantula needed one more Volt Switch to get to its move. I think it didn't
So
farm much.
survived that with two shields
shields
left
and
even. You're
2
feeling pretty
mons.
good, I suppose, in this.
Yeah. I would feel pretty good if that happened.
Unless if
It
you were
is-
Aerosol, then you might not feel so good. Now you're probably looking for a little bit of revenge. Man, another good call from DockuSama. Interesting. Okay, so they switched the Lapras into the Cradily.
I do understand why they're trying to play Lapras, mostly because the fact that it has pretty decent matchups against, let's say, Shiftry, your Whimsicott, your Alolan Marowak, and Swampert.
Yeah. Definitely. When with the ice moves, it's can
Mhm.
be very damaging. And then even though this is a rock side, it's not going to be that effective on the Swampert. Swampert knows it too, is really just farming up a bit of energy here.
Yeah, and yes, even if you bring in your Cradily, it's definitely going to hurt a wee bit from the Swampert. It's gonna do like 30% or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what's at the back?
Oh.
Galvantula. So
And now it's
ooh,
Aerosol's turn. Now he has 2 shields.
yeah.
Who shielded the Galvantula against a double grass line.
Oh man, yeah.
An unshielded double grass line. Okay, let's
This
see
is
how
gonna be very, very, very close. I think that's a swap now. I guess after he tanks the lunch. Yeah, I don't see a way into this.
No, because I
Because
don't
this
think even
lunge
the...
will one-shot
Yeah.
KO the Shiftry.
All right, so that was a good adaptation. Recognizing that, okay, even though Lapras will probably lose whatever the second scenario is, it can at least force shields or cause some damage, which at that point is what Aerosol needed to sweep in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how DockuSama adapts for the game. Game 3 looks like fairly similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like last time the mistake was shielding here. So let's see if he doesn't again. Nope, he's gonna let the surf go.
Yeah. And that's a good read by him because, yes, of course, now he's on even shields and the match flips. Plus, okay, that's an interesting shield, I guess. So he's got 2. Surf's not gonna hurt as much as a Hydro Cannon, so.
No, and it just allows the Cradily to get some energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see how this will play out. Now we have the Swampert, and I'm assuming that Galvantula's in the back. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but with 2 shields and Shiftry, it's gonna be really difficult. Especially, I think the best play that Aerosol has is try and sack the Swampert into one of these because Cradily already has energy. I think it was just one away from a Power Whip. And... Oh wow! Let's
Okay.
go.
Just letting it go. All right. Recognizing that Cradily's
Yeah,
going to
the
be the
win
sweeper
con
here.
is-
Ooh, okay. Yeah, sorry, Swampert. Unshielded.
Yeah,
You're a
that's
frail
not
boy. So now it's kind of a race. But fortunately for Aerosol with the shield left, the Stone Edge I think will still be enough to take it out,
Yeah.
even if it's debuffed.
I'm not entirely sure that swap was the best idea.
Yeah, it's really hard, I imagine, in the scenario where you're trying to
Yeah, it's
figure
a
out.
tough scenario.
Those were really good matches, super well played
Yeah,
by both opponents.
super spicy team from Aerosol.
Yeah, they both recognize the win conditions and we're trying to play around it, but that's what happens when you have 2 very good players that are nearing the championships. And speaking of, this is the last round. This is a fairly standard looking team, but we have an Azumarill, which was not as common as I was anticipating, especially after I heard your meta dive there.
I've played against this exact same team
Yeah?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously
I
the
was
grass,
running double grass too, so it was really nice to see in a zoomer.
grass is looking good against this team.
Mm-hmm.
Whimsicott's looking very nice.
Yeah, Whimsicott especially. I think
Okay,
the
well,
only actual real hard counter from Whimsicott is the Alolan Marowak. If
Yeah.
you guys didn't know, and if you hadn't followed my podcast, I did say that Whimsicott survives a nice.
let's see if DockuSama followed your podcast. So leading the Marowak into a Marowak. Okay.
Yeah.
And if we, oh look, this is not a double grass. That he has a Whimsicott and a Swampert in the back, so he's changing up his strategy a little bit.
Yeah. Will
Okay,
you
so-
call the Bone Club? Okay, it's he
Good,
calls the
good
Shadow
call.
Bone.
And he's baiting here with the Bone Club.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the bait, super well played, and ooh, very nice swap by the opponent. It looked like a bubble got through, so I'm guessing, yep, it's an
Yeah, it was an Azu, but yeah. Oh man.
the charms chunk, but yeah, guessing this is going to be an ice beam.
He can tank the ice
Yeah,
beam.
apparently he's listening to your podcast. He knows you can tank at least one.
Yeah.
Oh, but with the bubble advantage that he got, he is able to get to 2.
Yeah, but I think at this point you just farm down and then you hurricane the Alolan Marowak, and if they don't shield, I think that'll kill the Alolan Marowak. Oh no, actually no, it's
No, it's a little more healthy now.
Yeah,
But he does shield. He respects the fact that the most Whimsicotts are running Hurricane.
yeah.
It's like Dr.
And I guess Swampert comes in, and then if you look at SPE, SP3N's team, whatever is going to be at the back other than Shiftry is going to be weak to a Swampert. So he brings in the
Toxic.
Toxic.
Oh my goodness, will be very close.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think this is
so-
going to put like Alolan Marowak very deep into the red.
Yeah. And he is going for it, farming down, Shadow Bone. I think this will be enough. This. Oh!
Yeah, just about. That's just about enough.
Man, that was very well called.
Yeah, very well
Alright.
played by DockuSama.
Yeah.
Oh, Shiftry into
Game
Marowak.
2, not so good. But looks like he's just going to play it out. Because the Marowak obviously has to shield the foul plays, so.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah, well,
it's
in the two
fast move
shields,
on the
Marowak does take this matchup. So if this is a Shadow Bone, yeah.
Which it is.
At this point, I guess the Alolan Marowak can push for the two shield matchups and farm down the Shiftry. But let's see how this works out. No, he brings in his own Alolan Marowak. This is a Shadow Bone, I guess. You tank it.
Yeah. He knows that a counter is probably coming in, so he doesn't care that the Marowak will be low.
Yeah.
And he's just hoping for maybe the defense debuff here, but nope. No such luck.
That's a loaded Azu. And of course, it's going to be a nice beam. I think
Tank
Azu can
one!
get it too.
Tank one!
Tank one. But I think the Azu can get it too. I think it had enough bubbles and it should throw right about now. Yeah, there you go.
I think so too, but I assume he'll shield this? Yeah, and then this way he can farm down, and then this time he can Hurricane. Oh no, okay.
Oh no, he comes in with oh my
Oh!
god.
That's unfortunate. Thought he was close enough to be able to fast move farm down, didn't quite get there.
It's gonna be interesting if he has a Swampert at the back.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point, yeah. Nope, bring back in that Marowak and a quick shift to the Shiftry.
Yeah, but there was no
Yeah, but yeah.
condition. Yeah.
He recognized that his play was he had to Hurricane the Marowak. That was the only win condition, and
Yeah, exactly.
it just wasn't going to get there.
Unfortunate, but yeah.
All right, so how are you feeling? If you're looking for a good championship matchup here, we have got it. It's a tournament
very
here.
good finals.
DockuSama won the first round. The opponent won the second. I mean, this is the very last round.
I guess the
of the
Azos come in
tournament.
clutch for SP3NI337. I know what it's
Yeah, come on,
I know how you
trainers.
could spell it differently.
Can you guys give us like easier names to say?
Well, you can read that differently if you put the E, the 3 as an E and the other 3 as something else. But I cannot say that on Twitch, on YouTube.
We will not. This is a family-friendly show, kids. All right, let's see. Round 3. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, man.
Is that an Azul? Yeah, it is. All right, that's a good swap into Shiftry. Unfortunately for Azul, Shiftry will get to the Leaf Blade before.
It looks like he's just going to tank it, and unfortunately for Shiftry, it cannot afford to tank one, so it's going to block it up.
It just means that he doesn't have an answer to Shiftry because he stayed in with Azumarill. So here, what I would actually do as the Alolan Marowak is tank both the foul plays and then farm down.
Tank both? I don't think you can.
Sorry,
tank.
Shield both.
Shield
foul
both.
plays
Okay,
and,
okay.
And farm down.
Looks like he's following your direction, but yeah, unfortunately, in comes that Crustle, which will make some quick work of the Marowak. Although
it has energy, so
yes,
it's not that straightforward, unfortunately.
That's true. Yeah. DockuSama has to spend his last shield, but I think he's probably going to try to go for a farm down, but then they switch out to the Azumarill. That's very good.
This is going to come down to what they have at the back.
Yeah. Which is the Whimsicott. But unfortunately for the opponent, Marowak is so low on health, it's not
going to
able
be a
to do
Shiftry at the back,
anything,
right? Oh my god.
Bummer. Bummer for the Shiftry, man.
Yeah.
2 Leaf Blades could maybe do it, but it definitely doesn't have enough time to get to it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well read. So that was a super fun tournament there. DockuSama comes in.
And kudos to DockuSama. I think you told me that he was level 36.
Yeah, he's not even the level 40 yet, so hopefully he makes it before the end of the year so he can get that cool hat.
Yeah, hopefully you make it to Legacy and level 40, and I sincerely hope that you keep progressing in PvP, because it's a very good achievement. And to everybody out there, you don't need a level 40 to be good at PvP.
No, I think that is definitely true. A lot of players that we've seen rising up to the ranks have just even started this year, or started even with the lockdown. I think a lot of new members started playing when they realized that there wasn't much else to do. If you can't Pokemon Go outside, you can at least Pokemon Go on a Discord server.
Thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with us through the entire video. This is going to be our last Marsh Cup video. We're going to start posting the first Nightfall tournament this Sunday. Hopefully you guys will learn something from that tournament too. See ya.